Namespaces. We all recognize namespace standard, using namespace standard. All right. We used it when we used the header files iostream, cmath, and iomanip previously. Each of these header files here, okay, have identifiers that were defined in namespace standard. All right. So each of these header files that we've been using to input, output, to do calculations, and to do formatting had identifiers that were defined in namespace standard. That's why when we said using namespace standard earlier, we were able to access those identifiers without any problems. Solves problem of overlapping global identifiers. Let's start here. When a header file is included in a program, such as #include iostream, the global identifiers in the header file also become global identifiers in the program. So you said, #include stream, and remember, you could have created global identifiers here, and then said something like int main, right, in your program. If a global identifier in a program has the same name as one of the global identifiers from the header file, the compiler generates a syntax error. All right, so we want to avoid that, and we can by using namespaces. Here's the syntax of how you would create a namespace. You just simply say namespace and then the name of the namespace, such as standard. Okay, and then you list the members. The members can consist of constants, variable declarations, functions, or even another namespace. Scope. A member is local to the namespace. Okay. You can access a member outside of the namespace. You do that by one of two ways: using the scope resolution operator, or by using the using statement, or use the statement using. We've been doing it this entire time in all our programs. Okay, we use the statement using, and then we said namespace standard to access the global identifiers in the header files that we've been used to using, such as iostream, cmath, and iomanip. There are exceptions to needing the scope resolution operator. All right. For instance, when a namespace member and a global identifier in a program have the same name, to access the namespace member, you'll need to use the scope resolution operator. So in this case, you'll say something like namespace name, and then the name of the identifier. Okay, so this could be, std, standard, and then some name here. Let's look at an example. So this is the namespace example. If you look here, this is the exact same example I used for enum. Okay, and you can go back and look at the enum video where I explained how this program works. Here in the namespace example here, the only thing I've changed was the addition of a namespace. I said namespace Gryffindor spells, enum spells, Accio, Expelliarmus, and Lumos. This is where I define a new data type called spells, and I put it in a namespace. And because I said down here using namespace Gryffindor spells, which is the name of the namespace, in my program I can access it without any problems and use it without using any type of scope resolution operator. I'll run it here and I'll run the exact same way as it did earlier in my enum example. So let's say I pick E and it's Expelliarmus. Okay. If you're wondering why I didn't go one over, because I have it commented out here in terms of Draco's bugger spell on Harry. And that's it.